listening to the Fours Up Podcast with your host, Marsh.
All right, what up, Canes fans? It is the Fours Up Podcast. It is your boy, Marsh. I am here. I am feeling healthy. I've been sick this entire week. This is the first time I've left my house this whole week, but I am here. And as always, I am joined by my wonderful producer and co-host, Jordan Nelson. Jordan, how are we?
I'm doing good, man. That's quite the intro.
You know what? I don't know what it was. Like, I just got excited right before we started recording. Bro, like I said, I have been sick as a darn dog since Sunday. Today was the first time I left my house this entire week. I've been watching Harry Potter and I thought I got the coronavirus, but
well, I'm glad you don't have it.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? All hell would be breaking loose right now. Not that it isn't everywhere around the world. I mean, Jazz Thunder, they just canceled their game. Who knows what's happening? But
remember when I tweeted like 2 days ago how dumb Rudy Gobert was for touching all those microphones, and now he's the reason they're canceling the game?
What an idiot.
I know, dude.
What a stupid idiot. But I mean, yeah, things are good. Things are freaking busy. How's life with you? Not Canes. How's life right now with Jordan? How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Very nice of you. I'm busy, dude. I'm really busy as well. I sell paper like Jim Halpert action, Michael Scott, and I'm doing that for 2 companies right now, and it's time consuming. So
yeah, it's
a fun grind, and life is good, but geez, I'm stressed and busy just like a lot of people out there. So
I just feel like everyone right now, like everyone is so stressed and busy right now. Like, and especially and I will say, just announced back to the coronavirus thing, Ohio State and Michigan just canceled their spring game.
Really?
So I don't know what our beloved Miami Hurricanes are going to do, but it's tough in the streets right now, man.
Well, I was too cheap to buy a refundable ticket, so I'm either losing $400 or.
I promise you, I will not leave you. I don't care if the spring game is on or not. I will not abandon you. I promise you, we will be in South Florida together.
Well, I mean, it might be fun to just kick it,
Wait, what?
I said it might be fun to just kick it for a few days,
Oh, of course, bro. We can just chill out at the Thomas Pool and talk football and talk candy and just eat. And just
whole bunch of Mountain Dew and candy and just eating Cuban food.
Yeah, exactly. But we got a huge show for you guys tonight. We'll actually be back recording tomorrow night as well. But tonight we are about a week and a half ago, we announced that we were going to be doing a vet of the week. Every week we'd be honoring a Hurricanes fan who has served or is currently serving in our nation's armed forces in the military. It's something, the military is something that's very, very important to me. My father served in the Marine Corps. My grandparents and so many of my family members have served for our country. And I know you, Jordan, are very appreciative of those who have served. And so it's just something that I think would be really, really cool and way for us as Canes fans to really show our thanks. And today we are actually going to be having our first veteran of the week, and his name is Travis Bruce. And so we mentioned him before a few weeks ago on the show. And so before we get him on, Jordan, do you got anything to say about that?
No, I mean, I don't have any immediate family members that served. I mean, a lot of people in my extended family did. Both my grandfathers fought. And great grandfathers were both World War vets. So, it's I do respect it. I love it. I'm glad we're doing this, because it's a sacrifice. I'm glad that other people are willing to make, because I'm kind of a pussy, So.
Oh my God.
I'm glad that other people are willing to go fight, because that's I'll do it if I have to, but I'm not the volunteer material.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
No, no, I love the armed forces, and because of I'm legally blind in my right eye, that constricts me from going and serving. But very, very grateful to anyone who has served, and we're very excited to start this new thing, and excited to talk to a veteran Canes fan who every single week. And so let's see if Travis is good to go.
Cool. I'll get him on the line right now. Hello?
Hello.
Travis,
Hey,
what's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Nothing much. All right, we now welcome on Travis Bruce. He is our first veteran of the week. Travis, you are on with Marsh and Jordan on the Fours Up podcast. Travis, thanks so much for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. I definitely appreciate you guys bringing me on tonight.
No, absolutely, man, absolutely. So, we just wanted to kind of, talk to you both about the military, about you being a Canes fan. So let the people know, how long have you been in the military, and what are some of the things that you've been fortunate enough to do, and some of the things that you're doing now for our armed forces?
Yeah. So I was actually in the Marine Corps for about 6 years. I got out, was a civilian police officer for 2 years, and then I came back into the Army, and I've been in ever since. Right now, currently, I work at the National Security Agency here in Maryland. But to go back to the Marine Corps, because that's where I started my career in the military. I was a military police officer. I protected President Obama, so I was actually fortunate enough to, travel all around the world. Got to hang out with Barack Obama on a daily basis for the most part, and travel. Yeah, I've been to every state in America besides 2. And I've been to every continent in the world besides Antarctica. So I got to travel a lot. It was a lot of fun. And there's a lot of other cool stories that would go along with that. So if you have any questions about that,
No, that's incredible that you were able to spend, your days with the president. I have 2 questions actually. And then Jordan can ask some questions. First of all, where did you do your basic training for the Marines?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So actually I did mine on the East Coast. I did mine at Parris Island, South Carolina.
Okay. So you and I have talked before, and I've made it known to Twitter. My father was in the Marines, but he was in San Diego, or as some call him, Hollywood Marines.
Right.
But second of all, and this is regardless of anyone's political views or anything, what were some of the biggest takeaways from that you gained from, just being around President Obama, just the kind of man he was?
Yeah, it's a good question too, and I get that one a lot. So yeah, Barack Obama he's a really genuine guy. He's really cool, soft-spoken. He's really big into sports, which I love, because that's pretty much like 90% of our conversations were sports related. I'm a big Miami Heat fan, so he would always kind of give me crap about being a Heat fan, and always say go Bulls, because he's obviously from Chicago. So yeah, and then every time he would see me, sometimes he knew I was a diehard Hurricanes fan, because I went to me and my buddy went to Camp David, which is like a secret spot where the kind of president can kind of relax and get away from people and stuff like that. And so we went there. So he found out I was a Hurricanes fan because we were in they have a big nice gym there, and me and my buddy Bolts, we were playing basketball, and I had a tank top on, and I have like a half a sleeve of Miami Hurricane tattoos on my arms. And he pointed out, and he's like, "You're a U fan?" And I was like, "Yes, sir." And then so every time it's from that point on, we actually ended up playing a basketball game with him. And I wouldn't call myself a good basketball player, but I enjoy playing. My buddy Bowles, he actually played college for a while, so he's actually a lot better than I am. So we actually ended up, playing around at basketball with him, and it was kind of intimidating at first, because I was, you don't really, you don't want to hurt them and stuff like that, and you don't want to do anything, because you have Secret Service watching the entire time. So we were playing with him. My buddy Bolts actually kind of juked him a little bit, and he kind of rolled his ankle, and Secret Service started screaming at us to get out. And I thought that was pretty funny. And then he looked at the Secret Service guys and was like, "I didn't tell them to leave." He's like, "Why don't you guys just stand over there and just watch us play basketball?" And I was like, "Okay," But it was pretty funny, and so that's how he found out I was a Hurricanes fan. And then ever since then, every time he would see me, he would just throw up to you, you know. And I know that I'm pretty sure he's been on campus before too at Miami, so he knows all about Miami. So
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah. So that was one of the questions I was gonna ask, is just what it was like being around him on a daily basis, and like politics aside, like he just seems like a guy that I'd want to grab lunch with, But my question was actually going to be about basketball. I was going to ask if you'd ever seen him play or got to play with him, and I was going to ask if he's actually pretty decent or if that's been a little overhyped.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good. He has a really good hook shot. He's tall. He's a tall guy, so he's like when his hook shot, I don't think he missed one time the entire time that we were playing with him. So he's actually not too bad for a guy his age and and stuff like that. So he's pretty good. He's extremely competitive as well. So he doesn't like to lose, that's for sure. And we ended up beating them because my buddy is like really good. He just shoots threes the entire time. And he's really good. So, but yeah, he's very competitive and fun natured. He likes to joke around a lot. So he's just like an everyday guy. Like you wouldn't even think that you were playing basketball with a president. He's just acting like his normal self. On a daily basis.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And then I was also gonna ask, kind of tongue in cheek, but like I was gonna ask if he started to call it like fouls more when he was down or something, like like getting that presidential treatment or not.
No, actually, no, he was, he was, like every time that we bumping around and stuff like that, like he liked the contact and he didn't mind it at all. And if he did call a foul, he every time he did, he would laugh, because he's just like foul, but he just like, I think he was more just messing around with us than anything. So
yeah. No, I feel you. It was definitely tongue in cheek on my part.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome, man. That's geez, that's a cool experience that I'm sure not a ton of people get to have.
Yeah, for sure. And just a couple other things, just that I think that you guys would like is he was really big in the starburst, and his favorite color was pink. So when we would pick him up on the helicopter, I would take all the pink starburst out. And he would start digging around in the cup holder that we would put it in for him. And and as soon as he realized there wasn't a pink one in there, he would look back and he knew it was me, and I would start smiling because I was the only Marine that was like brave enough to even like mess around with him. I thought it was funny, and he didn't really care. He didn't get mad or nothing. He was just like, "I see you, Bruce. I see you."
Well, that's like an experience that, I mean, obviously like 99% of us will never ever get to experience. That's incredible. That's incredible. So, switching to the Canes, Travis, how did you come up being a Canes fan and everything like that?
Right. So, yeah. So when I was little, I'm the youngest out of my three brothers, and so my oldest brother Jason, he's 40, about to turn 41, and so I'm 30, so that's a pretty big age gap. And so when I was growing up, my brother was a diehard Miami Hurricanes fan, and my dad was actually a Gators fan. And every time my dad would try to like put Gator stuff on me, I didn't want it because I wanted to be like my brother. And every time that the Hurricanes were on, my dad would be downstairs, my brother would be upstairs in his room watching the Hurricane games. And when you're little and you got older brothers, you kind of want to be like them. You want to emulate them. So that's pretty much how I became a Hurricanes fan. I ever since I was a little kid, just watching it with my brother growing up. We're all from Florida. I was born in Jacksonville, but I grew up in Palm Coast, Florida. I'm not sure if you guys know where that's at, but it's about 30 minutes north of Daytona Beach.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I was gonna ask. What part of if you grew up in Florida, in what part? Because yeah, I'm more South Florida, Broward County, but. So when did you go to games in the Orange Bowl, or do you go to games at Hard Rock now, or because of your military thing you can, or what's the deal with that?
Yeah, so being in the military, it's kind of hard to take a lot of time off, especially back when I was in the Marines, because I was literally gone like 90% of the time. I was barely ever home. So I think I went to a few games. I want to say maybe out of the 2 years, I probably went to 2 Miami games, and they were both the games against Florida State.